go into a situation expecting someone to play you. How then does the artist, for example, protect himself even?
Well, I can't be played. A person trying to play me plays themselves.
Like, puts it out and it's all falling everywhere. She wants to create some scene or whatever and have her authority.
I think that's dramatic.
Months, 4 months, 3 months.
Thank you, Poppy. Thank you so much.
Higgins and Berkowitz in the garage with the car.
If you have receipts, put them up.
Guess what you're going to do? Run me my ketchup.
Could someone provide me with that 143 page today, please?
You're an outsider. I'm an insider.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Some of it I noticed in there were emails that I had that I think you got from a FOIA request that you had on me back months ago.
No.
Well, it sure looked like it anyway. The other thing I was a little bit surprised at is...
You no neck hoe. No, you're mad because ain't no one ever given any money to you. No one ever give your no neck hoe ass any money.
Any other searches similar to How's Long to Die in the Cold that evening on that tab?
Your Honor.
I'm going to...
May I first inquire, you meant morning, I assume?
Sorry, that morning, yes.
Just clarifying, I did not look at evening searches.
Run me my barbecue. Shut your hole. I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to see your side glance.
These guys mean it. You shook like a little leaf, you little puss. You are a puss, Dave. And if I ever see you, I will smack you up and down this highway on 75. You are a little phony. And guess what? Oh, I'm in AA, and you're drinking your balls off on TV. You little fucking scumbag. You are. I don't give a who you are. You're a fraud. You belong in a jail, guard. You ain't no cop. You, motherfucker. Right? You got me today, buddy, and you're going to get, everyone's going to get me. I might go off on the
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Is everyone good? Everyone doing good? Oh. We have so much to discuss. We have so much to go over. You guys ready? So much. Buckle up. First and foremost, welcome to class. Welcome. Please sign in. We will be having class tomorrow. I did not think we were going to have it. We are going to have class tomorrow morning. We're not going to have class Friday. Okay? Just so we know. Just so everybody knows. Another thing. You guys have homework to do. Okay? And it's going to count for 50% of your grade. What is it? Okay. Well, remember the other day how I was on Emily C's program? Okay. And remember how I was like, you know what? Let me just become a member. Let me just become a member of Peter, LYK. Even though, let me just become a member. Okay. So I became a member. I got a membership, which opened up all these members only videos. Little did I know how much we had in common. He likes mountains. I like mountains, right? He likes golfing. I like golfing. Perfect. I got to know his wife, Whitney, which now I have to say, I like her. I like her. I'm not a Peter binge. I like her. I do. I like Whitney. I think me and her are a lot alike. But I need you guys to find out something for me. Remember how we were looking and there was like levels of the membership and it was like, one of them was like quarterly Zoom meetings. What is that? We need to figure out what that means. We need to figure out what that is. I need you guys to figure out what that is and do it secretly. Don't go around being like, Peter, Auntie Deb wants to know what that. Figure out what it is. Okay. Because I might want me a little bit of that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, figure it out and do it on the DL, please. At the DL, I was in an online poker game. One of the players' names was Peggy Peg Leg. Well, then you were playing against Peggy O'Keefe. That's her online that's her online name. That's her screen name. Also, if she's in like chats on YouTube, that's her name. It's Peggy Peg Leg. That's Peggy O'Keefe. Net woman, every 3 to 4 months it's a Zoom call with Peter. Right, but like, is it like what kind? What kind? Not to be confused with Peggy Peg Leg. She goes by the Big Queef online. What is the matter with you guys? Oh my god. Oh my good lord, good morning. Right, is it group or is it right, Paula, thank you. These are the questions. He picks a topic and at the end we just chat. Okay, so it's a bunch of us then. Oh yeah, no, I'm still a little too nervous to like go ahead and say hi publicly like that. So okay. Okay, yeah, Net Woman. We have a lot of questions, guys. Give all your questions to Net Woman. I think Net Woman is in there, right? Okay. It's anyone on that specific level, right? Right. But I mean, still have questions about like, do you have to download Zoom? You know? Just find out for me. As much info as you can, and you'll be graded. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I want to talk about good, and then I want to talk about Grayson. First, I want to talk about good, though. Yes, this is what. Oh, okay. Okay. Net Woman, thank you. Yeah. Net Woman's figuring this all out for us, which I love. Net Woman, so far you're getting an A+. MAGA Barbie, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Okay. I want to talk about good first. Oh, and then I want to see if I think I can gift you guys some memberships because we've been having some fun members only as well here. Let me see if I can gift you guys some. But you know how good, you guys know what we've been going on with good, right? We've been figuring out what's going on with him. And I have a question to ask. So first, let me do a poll. Okay. Start a poll. I think he has, just based on what he looks like, a mini PP. A mini PP. He looks like it's mini. He looks like it's mini, little, right? I want to know what you guys think. Just based on like looking at just his eyes and his nose and his little mouth. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Right? It's like you don't even. Can we see his picture before we vote? Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. Mm-hmm. This is him. He's in the thumbnail too. I get mini from it. I do. Look. Come on. Come on. Come on. It looks like if you went to pull that thing out, it would be like a little Skittle. Or like you'd be rubbing like a Lifesaver gummy. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, ick. Ugh. Oh. Hi, Kat. Hi, Kat. Yeah. Ew. Oh. It's like, yeah, exactly, Kim. A butthole ass mouth with a little Minsky. I definitely think it's mini, but whenever we get to see Proctor's phone, we'll be able to confirm. Like a piece of corn, like a little piece of corn. Just my opinion. It's just my opinion on what I think he looks like. He looks like one of those fishes from SpongeBob. Good observation. Very good observation. Okay. 91% say yes. 9% say no. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can gift you guys some memberships. I know we can do this once a month. And let's see if we can. Okay. So here's how it goes with the members only. Is we do fun, and I try to do them at least once a month, right? So the way you get picked is I think you have to chat in the chat room. So if you have not chatted in the chat room in a while, maybe type like a hi or something, and I'll give you a minute to do it so it can throw you in the mix. Okay? Or whatever. So I'll give you a second to do that. And we'll play an ad from our sponsor while you guys do it.
This portion has been sponsored by Jury Tamps. Jury Tamps, fit for any key cycle.
Okay. I'll do it one more time to give you guys a second.
This portion has been sponsored by Jury Tamps. Jury Tamps, fit for any key cycle.
And if you're newer to this class, you don't know what jury tamps are. Jury tamps are a play on words for jury tampering that we came up with during trial 2. And one morning I was like, if we were going to do ever like a product, you think jury tampons would be a good product? And they would all be different. And one could have a little Ronnie bow tie, all that other stuff, right? Okay, let's do it now. Membership gifting. All right, we're going to do 5. Ready? Lucky recipient selected by YouTube get 1 month of free access, and boom. Okay, who got it? Akasha, Courtney, Kay Huber, Kristen, Milin. Let's do 5 more. Because I can do 10 a month, 10 free a month. Okay. Boom. Sea Star, Squirrel, Cami Hawkins, Maria. Is it only Fella? And Candace. Okay. Perfect. Teach Glare how to do it. He doesn't think he can give out memberships. Oh, it's so easy. So you just go out of StreamYard and into the YouTube on a computer, right? And you go into your stream like you're watching it on your computer, and you type the little money button, right? The little money button, you press it, and Squirrel 5150. You've said some crazy things in here. You have to be a gay man at heart, because you've said some gay man ass shit up in here. So I know you are, because you've said some wild stuff over the years. You press the money button and it'll say gift memberships, and you can give free ones. Glare. So you go in, so Glare, you know how you're in StreamYard, right? And you see the whatever. You got to open up YouTube, go into your stream, in the live chat option, press the little money button, and you'll see it. It'll say gift memberships. You can do it. That's also how you do polls. You can't do it on your phone. You have to do it on the computer on YouTube while you're live. Yeah? Okay. Okay, let me go over. I wanted to talk about Peter this morning. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to jump into Grayson, because it's what I've been thinking about. We're going to jump into Grayson. We're going to talk a little shit. And then we're going to talk a little more shit after. Did you see? Tell me you saw. Told you. I fucking told you. Oh no, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're being mean. You're just a mean girl. You're just a mean girl in Dunkin' Donuts with a small microphone. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, really? Oh, really? Am I? You're just mean, Jimmy. Blah, blah, blah. Don't think so. We'll talk about it after. Ben saying it. Okay? The country is rampant. Country. Welcome to the country. You're just mean. Jimmy. Okay. Where did we leave off? 29:55. And listen, disclaimer. I know everyone's been like, oh, I know everyone's been like, I can't believe you're covering this. I've listened to her voice, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. I don't care. I haven't seen it. I want to watch it. You don't want to watch it? Don't watch it. I want to fucking watch it. Kazi G, here's the thing. And I watched her latest video. And in one of the comments, it's like, they don't like you because Jimmy doesn't like you. And Jimmy said that blah, blah, blah. And Jimmy doesn't want anyone to like you. I haven't spoken about this bitch in months. And here she is still talking about. I'm like, what are you? Stop it. Thank you, Max's mom. They all need the Giardia owl. Ick. Stop. Relax. Calm down. And welcome new members. Amanda Amy Forrest, Charissa. Oh, Auntie Deb, thank you so much. It's so nice. Oh, so nice of you. Kay Schmidt, Netwoman. And thank you, Idiot Wind, for gifting 5. We appreciate that here. Yeah, calm your money tits. Exactly. Okay, where is she? Where's my hidden true crime friend? Okay, here she is.
Like 6 years of.
Okay. So this is where we last left off, right? Grayson is filming and she's chilling and she's watching her watch herself have a breakdown. And that's all. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I want to be the first to be honest. Like 6 years of messages. I hope all of you would be afraid. I hope you'd be afraid too. And so 6 years of messages talking every day. A lot of it's sort of like bar talk, right? Like even drinking, like having like a glass of wine and sitting and talking to friends, and then these friends get angry at you. They turn on you and they clip them in weird ways.
True.
And so I was like, Grayson, like I couldn't get a hold of it. I was so confused. I finally was like, Grayson, because I kept hearing things I said and I couldn't find them, or then I figured out and I was like, that's so taken out of context. Like, come on. And so I said, Grayson,
You guys see that?
you have a new job. It was not in your job description. He was like, come on. I couldn't find them, or then I figured out and I was like, that's so taken out of context. Like, come on.
Oh.
And so I said, Grayson, context, like, come on. And so I said, Grayson, you have a new job. It was not in your job description. You are to go through 6 years of my messenger messages and texts, everything I have ever sent since, not 6 years, was it 5.5, 5 years?
Started in, what, 2019 or 2020? 2020.
He said, you're about to know me better than my husband, John, because John wouldn't want to do this. And these are like probably like journals they didn't want to burn. You know what I mean? And you're like, I said that one night, but I only felt like that for an hour, but it's now there forever.
Right.
So
true.
And you did it. You did it.
I think there were 4.
She knew the assignment. How many days and how many hours?
It took a lot of days. There were a lot of nights I was up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning going through, figuring out, okay, this one, we could talk about one. I think it's really funny. Everyone has this rumor that you called.
If you don't think she's not mommy dearest by now, I don't know what else to tell you. Had her up till 5 in the morning reading Facebook messages.
Somebody a swinger, and you were like, where did this come from? I don't remember ever doing that. And I was like,
this person's not a swinger. I never thought this person was a swinger. What is this? And everyone's like, she called her a swinger. I'm like, she defamed me. She told everyone who's a swinger. I'm like, who the hell did I call a swinger?
So
I didn't call anyone a swinger.
I went through.
Who cares?
I found it on accident.
I found it. I found it, and I called you giggling, and I said, Lauren, I found it. You did call somebody a swinger. It was because they were on a swing in their profile picture, and you made a joke, but they got clipped. That got clipped. So, and there's been a lot of those messages.
It was somebody on a profile picture of a swing, as this person will tell you we've never been friends, and someone said, look at this picture of her swinging, and I said, why do I think she dabbled in swinging? Said, why tell you we've never been friends, and someone said, look at this picture.
That's twice.
For swinging, and I said, why do I think she dabbled in swinging?
And you didn't remember it because it was.
It's never been shared outside of the text messages. In fact,
it was you and 2 other people.
Screenshots have been passed around of this, and it's actually not the real screenshot.
Yeah,
it's like, but I said it.
I mean, it was you and 2 other people.
Yeah, that's a great example. You also said I'm a lot funnier than you thought.
I did. I was like, I will say, I think we've gotten closer through this.
What did you say? You said there are a lot of dynamics going on.
I joked. I said, I think I know the dynamics of true crime better than anybody at this point. I can walk in a room and see somebody I've never met and be like, this person connects to this person, connects to that person because that person hates that person and that person's brother did this to that one. No, but, but that shows you the context, right? You might have called somebody an asshole one day and that got clipped and sent to them, but really, if the full messages came out, you called that person an asshole because a victim was on the defense for something and you were protecting them, right?
Yeah, I was actually always protecting victims. Well, that's what's.
Yeah. I think that's been like, and.
I think the other thing too is like I am a lot more colorful behind the scenes.
We love a good F word.
John and I, we like to keep our podcasts clean, clean language. That's who we are. Like we just want to keep it clean, but. The language I use when I'm not on camera isn't always clean. I don't know.
I mean,
if that makes any fucking sense, but.
Oh. The most vulnerable video I've ever showed here, but
that's the most.
I do pride myself on being a very honest person. So who you know on camera is me. And that was a little bit more of me behind the scenes that I don't show because yes, there are parts of my life that I like to keep private. So we're going to go through everything. A lot of you are maybe asking questions during that. I don't understand. I don't understand. I want to start with that because I think that you're going to understand it all a lot more as we go through everything tonight. So here we go. I'm going to start, by the way, when I say everything, not to get you guys scared, but these are all the court filings. And we got exhibits and we got evidence. So before we delve in to my first declaration, which is what got me the temporary civil stalking injunction, I'm going to set the stage and give you guys a bit of a timeline. So let's just explain a few things that matter. As many of you know that are my hidden gems, I call this setting the stage. Let's set the stage before getting into all these documents. And that takes us to April of 2024. I also want to point something out. I am not going to use my stalker's name during this video. So I am going to refer to her as my stalker. That is what I will be dubbing her. April of 2024 is when it all begins. That is when I meet my stalker in Boise, Idaho at the Chad Daybell trial when she shows up for a few days attending as public.
So Idaho is where they thought she was some dude, right? She was some guy, right? Yes. Okay.
Public. She's interested in the case she's watching. She introduces herself as a fan of my podcast, and she gifts me a cell phone microphone and a tripod. I also meet another fan of the podcast at this trial named Lori, also attending as the public. So not to be confused with Lori Daybell or Lori Hellis. This is Lori, someone attending as public named Lori. Then there is Lindsay. Lindsay is a podcast producer, and Lindsay starts doing part-time production work for me at this trial. She's quite good, very talented. And then there is my stalker. And my stalker also befriends Lindsay and Lori. And Lindsay, the producer that is there, starts doing part-time production work for me during this trial. And my stalker and Lori become friends with Lindsay, along with another woman named Janice.
All right. We discussed this the other day, and I want to reiterate this for everyone. She's not sad. Look at her. She's not sad. This woman is full of rage. She's this is angry. She's angry. She's very, very angry. This is all this emotion from her is anger.
Now, a few things to know about Janice. Janice, I don't know her very well. This is our history, though. She was noticed by me in Daybell Facebook groups early on, years ago. I was in a lot of the Daybell Facebook groups where a lot of information is, a lot of the insider scoops. And she was quite funny. Her posts were very funny and witty. And I that I thought that at first. And then her posts turned into what I consider bullying. I know everyone has a different definition of that. It's what I consider bullying. Here are a couple of them posted in groups just to kind of let you know what I saw. Here's something making fun of Colby. And here is one where she's sharing a video titled "Let's Talk About Kay Woodcock." And Kay, this video, luckily it is no longer on the web, but it defamed Kay Woodcock and lied about her and essentially implied that she was complicit in her grandson's murder and that she didn't do enough. It was a very cruel video.
Wasn't her merch all
Kay
about
is
stuff from the
is a
trial
victim
too?
in this case. Her brother and 7-year-old boy were murdered. And people are doing videos about her. And Janice liked to advertise those videos, and she was a mod in those videos, a moderator. And then again, you saw the other one where she's making fun of a dear friend of mine and another victim who lost his entire family. Okay, so that's good. So those are just a couple examples of why I didn't care for her. Whatever, everyone has their own opinions. She might be a really wonderful person, and I believe that Janice is a complex person, and that she's very. I don't want anyone to go and bully her if you know who she is. She's probably a very wonderful, wonderful person, but she wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, let's leave her alone. But that's my history with her. So I continue to notice these types of posts and rhetoric that Janice would use that maybe people think are funny. Again, that's fine. It wasn't my cup of tea. I told my friends privately, in private, that I thought she was a bully and that she was insensitive to victims. It was my personal opinion that I'm allowed to have. And then Janice and I officially met in person at the Lori Daybell trial in Boise, Idaho in 2023. And I attempted there to try to put our differences aside and focus on what matters, justice. And I let her know that, we might be on the different political sides of the aisle, Janice, but what we both care about is justice. And so we were friendly at the trial. Although I did notice while at that trial that she continued filming Larry and Kay Woodcock during vulnerable moments, making shorts about them that were unkind in nature and that would make most people uncomfortable. Additionally, that person you heard says that I randomly lived with her brother. That's Janice. A big rumor out there is that I lived with Janice's brother, who was my doctor when I was like 29 or 30. I never have. I've never even kissed the guy. I don't know where that rumor started, but just so you know, it's going around to several people.
Okay, so I think this is I think this is the guy, right? This is the Idaho guy. Okay. Didn't live with him, never even kissed him. Listen, you don't gotta kiss someone to and just because she wasn't getting mail there doesn't mean she wasn't shacking up with him. I think she was. Can I prove it? No. But I know he is. You don't gotta kiss. Listen, you don't gotta kiss. A lot of the times in the gay life, right? When you're hooking up with someone, kissing isn't even on the table. You're like, no, because it's intimate. But sometimes when you just want to get in there and I love this comment. Excuse me, Auntie Deb, I have a question. Why does she look sticky? Why does she remind me of Christina Aguilera and the saltiness? She does look sticky. She has like a layer of film over her. It's like slut film. You can tell. Yeah, she does look sticky. She does. If you're from the central Massachusetts, Worcester area, I refer to this as Grafton Hill film, where it's like you look like you're from G Hill and like you have like a film of like greasy grossness around you. She does have that same film. She has film. She has film around her.
Lori is from California, and Lori was attending the trial because of her interest in the case. I love it when people interested in a case attend the trial. And then in a strange turn of events, my producer Grayson, this is strange, but my producer Grayson, Lori is the wife of my producer Grayson's California dentist and is someone who works in the dental office in California. But to clarify, when I met Lori, I didn't even know Grayson. This wasn't even a thing then, but wild, right?
Oh, Grayson.
Let's continue. So,
We love
May of
Grayson here.
2024, I am asked by a well-known public figure that I really respect if I know a good podcast producer. And I tell them, yes, I do. And I introduce this person to Lindsay. And I encourage Lindsay to connect with this person. And she seems super happy. And the two connect. And I am super happy for them. And then on June 8th, so June 8th, 2024, my stalker puts me in a group chat, which includes my stalker, Lindsay, and Lori. June 18th, 2024, my stalker is driving through my hometown, and she is asking to come visit. And so I take her kids to the neighborhood pool. July of 2020.
June 18th is a big day for a lot of people. So June 18th, her stalker is in her town in a group chat with her, says she's in her town, and then Lauren just takes her to the pool with her kids to the pool. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
24. I have now officially hired Lindsay as a producer, as an independent contractor. It's more full-time. And we have daily production meetings in the morning, along with John. And she is helping to produce my podcast episodes. She explains she is going to also work for this said public figure that I connected her to, and that she thinks we can pull off working for both. I tell her, okay, I am super happy that she has this upcoming gig with this public figure that is a wonderful person, and I tell her so. Lindsay and I decide to cover the Alec Baldwin trial in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And due to concerns of cost, Santa Fe ain't cheap. It's expensive. Lindsay recruits my stalker and Lori to share an Airbnb with us to help keep down the costs. And then...
Hold on, this is why we love Grayson. Because in the middle of this breakdown that she's having, the 9-hour breakdown, vulnerable, my truth, my break, my down, my telling, whatever. So Grayson is in the same, Grayson must be right there, because Grayson's putting up this message saying Grayson is a producer. So Grayson's clearing her name while the breakdown is happening. This is why I love this. This is why we love Grayson.
I tell John this, and he's reassured. I say, look, we've got a couple of trial people I met at a trial, these trial goers that are going to come with us and help keep down the cost of this larger Airbnb in Santa Fe. July 10th, 2024, in the morning of July 10th, 2024. July 10th was a big day. I'm outside of the courthouse of the Alec Baldwin trial, and I interview I interview several people that day, so I don't want anyone confused. There are 3 lives that day. I don't want anyone, but one of the many people I interview live on camera that day is my stalker, And I introduce her as a fan of my podcast, A Hidden Gem. I personally did not think it went great for content. No harm, no foul. It happens. And then that day continues of July 10th, 2024. And at this time, my ex-contractor, who was my then contractor and friend. So my contractor at the time of July 10th, 2024, she is streaming the Alec Baldwin trial live on our YouTube channel for us, while I am in the media room at the courthouse covering it, and she's there. And I reach out to this ex-contractor, again, my contractor at the time. Let's clear.
Colby J. Ryan. Is that a poppy? No, I don't think it's a poppy. I don't think she would have poppies, although she might.
Clarify that. I reach out to my contractor who's live streaming the Alec Baldwin trial. And I ask how things are going with the streaming. I discuss work in a text with this ex-contractor, excuse me, then contractor. And I explained that I like this press room for the moment before heading to the courtroom because, and I'm going to say this verbatim, this is what my text says to her, quote, "It's space from roommates. One of them is kind of annoying."
Colby is Lori Daybell's son. Okay. I don't know who Lori Daybell is. I've heard the name. Lori Daybell, Chad Day. I've heard the name Daybell Vallow. Same person, I think. I don't know who killed who. I don't know which one's the killer. I just know that he looks like a poppy. That's all. That's all I see is poppydom and poppiness. She's a killer. Okay, so his mother's a murderer. Yeah, this is why I'll just stick with Peter because I know his family is like there's no like murder genes in the family. I don't have time to sit there and help you out through everything. You know what I mean? I don't have time through the middle of coitus. You start breaking down. As much as I would love to help, I don't know if I can. You know?
This contract worker then asks if it was the one I had on a live that morning in front of the courthouse. And I explained
He's a survivor?
that it was.
No.
The contract worker states back to me in a text message, not going to lie, that person is obnoxious.
Thank you.
Don't put her on camera again, laughing face emoji. I agree. And I say she is constantly anxious, loud, and worried. End quote. A very private work conversation in a text message. July 10th, 2025, that evening, the contract worker calls me and unexpectedly and angrily quits on me and also ends our relationship for good, as in is never going to talk to me again and is going to block me. She accuses me of several things.
Like?
She worked for me, but we were also very close friends. And after this phone call, I try not to, but I start crying hard. And Lori, Lindsay, and my stalker, who are my roommates. And
Okay. Guys, we have to have a chat here. Guys, Colby's not here. He was watching her, not us. Colby is... I don't know who that is, but not here. Yeah. Colby's not here, bless him, Mom. I think Colby raped his wife. Colby is a sweetheart. Okay. All right. Well, either way, no, he didn't. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know these people. Facts, he did. Okay. Either way, right? Not my business. I'm not interested in him. That's not the poppy I want to know. So either way, didn't, don't care. You know, strong accusation, yeah, but I don't It doesn't change the goddamn thing in my life, right? It doesn't change anything for me. Nothing, not a thing. Sorry, Colbs. Whether you did or you didn't, you still look nice. You look good, right? But I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't kick you out of bed, but that's why you married her, not me.
This Airbnb, they comfort me. And I am embarrassed and I keep apologizing for crying. And I am grateful for their kindness. In fact, it was a very traumatic moment for me. And I guess I can say I'm still grateful for their kindness in that moment. And that kindness that they showed me made me open up even more to them in the coming months because they were there for me during a very traumatic moment. The end of July 2025, I hire my stalker. It was Lindsay's suggestion to do podcast episode artwork for me. She's a very talented artist, my stalker. And this continues for months. In October of 2024, I cover a trial, as many of you know, in Delphi, Indiana, with Lindsay. And I am paying Lindsay daily to be there for me. In my opinion, I was paying her well to be there for me daily. And I'm also paying, it's an all expense paid work trip. I am paying for all of her lodging and all of her food and everything she needs to work for me. My stalker flies out to attend as public for a couple of days and pays me to stay in my Airbnb that I had. And she takes photos of me outside of the courthouse in Delphi, Indiana for my podcast. I did not pay her for these photos. It's an additional free gift for me. I buy her dinner. I confide in Lindsay, admittedly, that it is harder to work when my stalker is around. She seems kind and is very generous, but it's just a lot. And after my stalker flies home, I temporarily go home as well for Halloween because I need to trick or treat with my little boy. But I do decide that I need to go back to Delphi, Indiana. While I am gone, Grayson, who you guys now know as my producer, Grayson, takes notes for me in the courthouse while I'm gone.
Good job, Grayson.
She does an incredible job, a hell of a job. Couldn't have done them better myself. I didn't do them as good as she did them those 2 days that I was gone. And I began paying Grayson for freelance work, including those notes. I then, back in Delphi, I start noticing a lot of red flags. And these are red flags for me. They might not affect everyone. Some people might not think the red flags. Other people think maybe I misinterpreted them. It doesn't matter. These are red flags that affected me and concerned me and the way that I work and the way I function. One of them was that Lindsay wanted Grayson to stay in a separate Airbnb than the one I had with plenty of room. And Grayson was working for me. She was young. She was alone. And I was paying for the lodging. And that was a concern to me. I suggested maybe the Lindsay get her own hotel if she needed space, and that upset her too. I just couldn't figure this out. It was a dynamic that was hard for everyone. It's just what, and like I said, she likely had her reasons too. It's fair. But I had my reasons, and this was becoming uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
Another thing I learned that Lindsay did was take my phone, and without my permission, she logs into YouTube Studio and learns how much I am making that month. And she shares this with Grayson. Something else that made me uncomfortable. And there were a few other things. Lindsay is also working for another creator while I am paying for her to be there working for me full time. And I'm paying all of her expenses. And
that is
she is passing off material that I had requested her to collect to other creators to be used for other shows. These were things that made me uncomfortable. I'm not even, to each their own. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. Doesn't matter. They were things that made me uncomfortable.
I get it.
There were other red flags for me, personal red flags. Once we are back from Delphi, I decide to terminate things with Lindsay after the Delphi trial ended. I ended things very nicely and respectfully. She's very talented. And I realized that I needed someone exclusive. You know, someone after experiencing what I did in Delphi with, you know, realizing that she was a contract worker and that she was sharing and helping other creators, that, you know,
Okay, so this is an email. This is an update on our working relationship. Lauren and John Matthias. Okay, if she doesn't read it, we're going to read it. If she doesn't read it, we're going to read it because I want to read it.
realized that Hidden True Crime needed someone exclusive, like an exclusive producer that didn't want to work for multiple people. And so I told her that I was excited for her to work with this other larger podcast and this public figure. And here is a termination letter. I want you guys to see it. I want to show it so that I need people to know.
You can read it.
Very small. So let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, I got
and
it.
read it. I didn't even go. Okay, I can read it. I made it larger. I say, after careful an update on our working relationship. December 2nd, 2024. After careful and deliberate consideration and after reflecting upon the changing dynamics as you work for other true crime podcasts, John and I realized that it will be too difficult to navigate conflicts of interest and that we need any current or future employees we hire to work exclusively for Hidden True Crime. We had high hopes that this could work, and we love having you on board, and you have had such a positive impact upon our channel. We feel incredibly lucky that we are recipients of your work during a transitional period of career where you have had so many options in the true crime arena. We are particularly impressed with your move into such an important role working for Redacted. Yet, as we have been reflecting upon the complexities of sharing a producer, we have come to a difficult but clear realization that in this true crime space, any producer's HTC hires will need to work exclusively for Hidden True Crime to avoid issues around privacy, sharing content, and information across channels or podcasts, which greatly concerns us. As I have always stated, your desire to work with Redacted is an incredible opportunity that you should take advantage of.
Who's Redacted?
And we are thrilled for your exceptional talents being recognized with such a major talent. Your absence undoubtedly will create a much bigger workload for us once again, which we do not look forward to. So we know that your efforts will be sorely missed. And we know, however, that the growth and experience you'll receive will be unique and provide a rare opportunity for you. I'm proud of you for this opportunity. Go show them how amazing you are. I'm sure we will see you on the Apple podcast charts very soon, and that we hope our friendship and true crime combos can continue.
Why is that kind of shady?
And who knows, if we're lucky, maybe we'll be collaborating later together in the future once the opportunity presents itself. Always my best, Lauren.
Annie Elise. Isn't that's Glara's friend?
And so I later, just so you know, one other aspect of this, months and months later, I did send Lindsay a cease and desist. I had heard that she had been saying some things that I consider defamation to several of my professional contacts. One text that was sent to me stated that I went psycho on her and that I am manic. And
I can see that.
Other things from another creator that Lindsay was saying about me. Things that were not true. I sent her that cease and desist and requested that simply she cease and desist about speaking about her time as my producer. I feel like this sets the stage for everything else to come. When my life then becomes a living hell for my entire family.
Home. Living home.
So let's fast forward
Living
to
home.
April 9th, 2025, when my stalker confronts me in the Maricopa County Courthouse while I was reporting on the Lori Daybell trial. From there,
It's okay. You'll get through it.
I'm going to start reading my declarations. I'll add
Here.
comments where
Here.
needed. Here we go. So this is the first declaration I sent out to receive my temporary stalking injunction. The reason why I'm just going to get into the declarations, I'm going to stick to legal documents. I'll add anything extra. I think they tell the full story. There will be a few things I need to add.
Okay. We're here for your truth.
I hereby declare, under penalty of perjury, that the facts stated in this declaration are personally known to me and that they are accurate to the best of my knowledge. My name is Lauren Matthias. I'm over the age of 18 years old and I am competent to testify. I am knowledgeable personally about the matters I am testifying about. I am the petitioner. I met my stalker in April of 2024. During the summer of 2024, she began doing contract graphic design work for my business. Do we have those invoices?
Grayson, do we have the invoices?
Let's pull
Okay.
them up.
Now, normally, when I watch something, I like to watch it like regular speed and I like to like soak it all in like a, I like to soak, like just sit there and soak it in like
This portion has been sponsored by Jury Tamps. Jury Tamps, fit for any key cycle.
But with her and the way she's speaking, I don't know if I can. I'm going to speed it up a little bit right now, just a little bit. Because
They may not matter, but I would like to show them. There's one. Okay. I'm paying her. That's all you need to know. However, for the past few months, my stalker has been intentionally targeting me and stalking me, making me fearful for my safety and well-being, as well as the safety of my family and my producer Grayson's safety. My stalker has also been using a group of people to help her achieve her goal. This started on April 9th, 2025, when my stalker confronted me in the courthouse in Maricopa County, Arizona, while I was reporting on the Lori Daybell trial. The stalker came up to me, cried, and let me know that she had heard what I had said about her, and that two former contract workers were releasing my text messages that I had with them during their time working with me. Now I'm going to ad-lib, a little bit more here. I actually wrote that ad-lib, a little bit more about what the stalker said. I'm so nervous. I'm like reading ad-lib. So let me tell you a little bit more what she said. She came up to me and said, I know what you said about me. She was crying. Give her a hug. A few of the things she stated were, well, first off, I want to point out that there was a no recording order in the courthouse, a severe no recording order in the courthouse. Why? Because there's a high profile, internationally well-known trial going on. And every day we are reminded that there's to be no recording in all of the courthouse, not just the courtroom, but the courthouse. And that if you are to record in the courthouse, you'll be held in contempt of court. And that there are signs everywhere saying, do not record in the courthouse. I would have never thought she was recording. So the stalker says, I know your ex-friends are releasing everything. And it is horrible what they are sharing. And I cannot believe what you said about me. I knew what I had said about her. I told all of you at the beginning of this, I called her annoying. And I knew exactly what it was and what she was saying. And I wanted to face it head on and own it and apologize. I don't like hurting people. And I want to be honest with things. That's who I am. And so I said, let's talk. Let's talk. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. And I said, you know what? Please allow me to talk with you right here about it. I called you annoying and I'm sorry. I didn't know you well then. And I told her essentially that I felt like perhaps at that time that she was further along in the friendship than I was. Maybe she thought we were closer than I felt at that time, that I was still getting to know her. And that it was difficult sometimes to work around her, and because I felt like she was annoying sometimes while I tried to work. And I didn't record it, she did, but this is what I recall. And that I was sorry. And I felt really bad, and I knew her better, and I felt terrible that I'd hurt her that way. I was also completely taken back by the fact that a bunch of my private text messages were being released. Scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what that meant. 6 years of messages. And this woman saying to me, they're horrible. They're terrible. Your friends are horrible. They're cruel. I can't believe what they said. I can't believe what you said. She brought up poisonous donuts, Lauren, poisonous donuts in Delphi. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, you don't know what I'm talking about? Something about poisonous donuts? This is what I recall again. She's the one that recorded, not me. So, you know. You know what I'm talking about? Liz sent it to you. You sent it to Liz? I'm like, who's Liz? Who's Liz? What are these poisonous donuts? You know, Liz. You don't know who Liz is? No, I don't know who Liz is. Who's Liz? You said, Lauren, that somebody sent you, that somebody in Delphi tried to bring you poisonous donuts, and people were there and they were trying to be kind to you. And I'm still like, I don't get what she's talking about. By the way, I learned later, and both those stories are true. People in the Delphi trial brought me donuts and it was kind. And then there was another time when there were a couple of YouTubers, Susan Hendricks was there, we talked about it actually in a live, where they brought, they were banned from the courtroom and they brought donuts, and everyone screamed, said, don't take them, they're poisonous. And that was the story I allegedly shared with Liz. I didn't know who Liz was. She kept trying to press me, who's Liz, who's Liz? And I said, oh, Liz. Remembered who Liz was. We concluded the conversation. I felt on a good note. I profusely apologized. I told her I was sorry for what I had said, and for what many of the things perhaps that I had said to those ex-friends of mine. And then, so let me continue. Let me continue. So the text about the stalker stated that she was annoying. I apologized for hurting her feelings. So I'm going back to the declaration now. And I even followed up with text messages taking accountability. Exhibit the apology. Let's show that. Do you have that apology? Okay.
Grayson,
we'll wait for this.
Get the apology out.
I said, I love you and I'm sorry. Thank you for talking to me. I have a lot to process about myself and my actions.
Why does she think
Thank you for being vulnerable and vulnerable about myself. I said, everything I love about you is real and sincere. Everything I judged you for before I gave you a chance, I was wrong. Unfortunately, you can't erase words and they hurt. I'll forever regret the things I said and thought. But the truth is, I defend you to the moon and back forever, and I do. But I realize it will take a long time to earn your trust if I ever earn it again. And if I don't, I understand. I was so wrong. But I know that no matter where our paths lead in life, I know I'll forever defend you and call you a dear friend with the biggest heart I know. I'd do anything for you if you ever need me. And then,
send you to the moon.
Oddly, and then we'll talk about some other stuff after that. We'll talk about this in Grayson's declaration. But I also did leave court early that day.
So that was a message to her stalker. Why would she say, hopefully I want your trust again, or some shit like that, if that was a message to her stalker? Or am I getting it wrong? Someone please let me know. I got it right. Okay, so then that's not your stalker. Then that's not your stalker then. That's not your stalker. Then. Chick. Meatball Morrissey. She wants to keep it clean. Interesting choice of words. Senorita Snot Rocket. Thank you, Meatball. Paula says, temp CSI is made permanent if violated twice. Temporary something stalker injunction. Okay. She went to CrimeCon where another fake stalker would be forced to violate her. Christina, welcome to the family. Netwoman, yes, you have to go and thank you for looking out for me. Thank you, Netwoman. And Joel, thank you, Joel, for the super sticker. Okay, so this isn't her stalker then. Okay. We're an hour and 7 minutes in. We left off on 28. I can do like another 20 minutes of her. 9 hours. Look at that, guys. Look at the bottom left. Look at what 9 hours.
Because I had a panic attack about private texts of mine perhaps being released because people were angry at me. It was a very frightening thought. But we'll get into that later. We'll continue with my declaration. The first one. Later that night, I received a threatening voicemail from someone named Liz. She brought up the fact that I had said that I didn't know who she was, which was something that I told my stalker during our conversation. And so now I'm realizing, oh my gosh, she recorded me. Take a listen to the voice.
It's Liz. Let me remind you, Liz, I know you don't recall my name, but I actually think you do recall my name.
Ooh.
But I'd like to talk to you for a second. I'd like to talk to you about, number one, I guess, why you don't remember my name. But number two, I'd like to talk to you about why you are so upset about texts that you have sent to me in group chats about other people who I'm sure you don't, I'm sure it's hard to admit that you have said those things about those people, but I want to clear it up with you. So I would appreciate if you would call me back. No, not trying to be threatening or anything. I would truly like to clarify maybe where I'm missing something. So if you would please give me a call back, I would appreciate it. My name is Liz, L-I-Z. In case you don't remember, Liz, L-I-Z. Don't want to.
So at this moment, I'm having a panic attack about text messages being released. I'm worried about a friend whose feelings I've hurt. I'm worried about the potential of what this means. Thank you. I'm not trying to be threatening, is exactly that. It's threatening. And I am worried that a vulnerable conversation that I just had with somebody in a courthouse now was recorded and being shared to people who might be calling me and threatening me. This was a very overwhelming moment for me. Very. I can't even explain what I felt in that moment. Thank you to the people who were there for me. And so after I received that text message, I sent the stalker a text message stating to please not share our conversations, that it was private and that I was feeling threatened. And if we can pull that up, there are so many exhibits here. Hey, I would appreciate, this is what I wrote on April 9th. I would appreciate you not talk about our private conversation, which you described as vulnerable with other people. I have done this for you. Yet I am already getting calls about things I said to you in confidence, and I feel threatened. Do not screenshot or share private conversations that are meant to be private. Do not share things that I've said to you in private, because they are considered private. And I reiterate, this is becoming a threatening matter, and I will have to take legal action if it continues. Stalker responds, Lauren, I can confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. By the way, that's not true. I later learned that she did indeed record it, by the way, and then she put it on TikTok. So we'll get to that. But Lauren, I can confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. As for your other request, I think you already know that I'm not the one you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. In other words, shaming my ex-friends. I'll be honest, receiving a message like this with accusations and threats really put salt in the wounds. I didn't expect that from you. Okay. A couple of days later, I was sent a Reddit comment by somebody, and we learned that it was made by my stalker. Just a couple days later, alleging that I was plagiarizing and that I had poached an employee from another person in my industry. Oh, we have it. Here it is. Supposedly, Lauren poached an employee, and the employee is recycling scripts that she did for Lauren. Not sure if this is one of those cases, but a friend of mine overheard the girl she poached from talk all about it at one of the trials. This isn't true. It was put on Reddit. And so I thought, who did this? Well, luckily, she left a lot of trails to confirm without doubt that it is my stalker. And we have that evidence. I'm not going to show it now, but we have the evidence because she has since deleted that and much of her public posts.
I'm not going to show it.
All of the evidence is her.
I'm not going to show it though.
And it was shocking to me. Again, I thought this was my friend and someone that was working for me. And now someone that's possibly sharing my conversations. What's going on? That was made by my stalker alleging that I was plagiarizing and that I had poached an employee from another person in my industry. I texted my stalker requesting that she does not defame my business online, and that if she believes I am plagiarizing, to report me. In other words, if you believe I am plagiarizing, report me. I didn't tell her to stop talking. I actually said to her, if you think that I am plagiarizing, that's serious, and she should report me. She denied they were her posts, despite evidence from her account, which I have again saved, showing it was her account. And after some back and forth, I blocked her as I began to feel unsafe. She then sent me, after I blocked her and after we both agreed, she said, I'm not going to continue this conversation with someone. And I said, you know what, you're right. At this moment, I don't know who she is. I don't know her intentions. I am feeling very threatened. I block her. This relationship, unfortunately, sadly, is going to have to end. She then sends me an aggressive email.
I need to breathe. An aggressive email. This is an aggressive live stream. Oof, getting hot, getting hot. I'm gonna refill my coffee. I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna talk a little bit of shit. Okay. So let me put on. Yeah. I'll be right back. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I might just. Yeah. Look at the Greek flag. Okay. We'll be right back. Thank you. We'll be right back. Okay, we back. Okay. Oh, thank you for waiting. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Okay, what did I miss? What were you guys saying while I was gone? Talking shit. Free Grayson. I agree. Yeah, this is like insufferable. This woman is nuts. Poor Grayson. How is this lady related to Lori Daybell? I don't know who Lori Daybell is. I know she's like some sort of murderer. I don't know. I don't get it. F Grayson, someone says. Okay. There's another 7.5 hours of this. Did anybody watch the whole thing? I mean, like, let's look. Crispy Treat, you watched the whole thing? You watched the whole thing? Oh my good Lord. Oh, look. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5.
Account to expose my ex-friend. Paranoid, spending my time reading 6 years of text messages going, what did I possibly say? Lyrics about violence. That evening, she stood feet away from petitioner in a hotel bar with camera. He called me and said, you know what, we got a threatening letter from my stalker uses herself as well as others to continue, and I will say in long crime, clearly too, to continue to harass and stalk me daily. The attacks online. Yes, after people watched Lori Hellis's live, I started getting threatening emails and comments. Have it. That's their right. And admittedly, those I still don't know what I've said. Let's see. Okay, after leaving. Okay, no, this is important. So the waiter comes over and Lori walks away while Sarah continues her confrontation. Noticed that she was actually across the room talking to Summer Shiflett, who was of what we were talking about. So let's watch.
These are such difficult and hard conversations. Are they?
It's a civil stalking injunction, but also incites others to target and harass me on her suffocating dread and the crushing weight of uncertainty. I called the police for help in June, and I live in fear that because of that, people will. And he is weak. He has dark circles under his eyes because of lack of nutrition. This parental role reversal, empathic trauma, and emotional harm are all symptoms of what happens to children who become secondary victims when a parent is subjected to ongoing stalking and harassment. As a clinical and forensic psychologist, my professional work has included evaluating individuals for the risk of recidivism, which means reoffense, and patterns of antisocial and harmful behavior. In my expert opinion, when an individual repeatedly violates a stalking injunction, it demonstrates not only a lack of respect for the authority of the court and the rule of law, but also clear antisocial traits that significantly increase the risk of harmful behavior in the future.
Okay, I think she's talking about her kid. Which I do want to see that part.
This ongoing pattern of harassment and intimidation has stripped Lauren John and their young son, all of who work closely with them, any sense of security in our daily lives and professional activities without lasting protection. Lauren will continue to live in constant fear for her safety and the safety of her family. A permanent injunction is the only measure that can provide the security and peace of mind necessary to allow them to move forward with their lives and their work without the continual shadow of fear created by the respondent's actions. I declare under criminal penalty under law, signed Grayson. I need more water again. My voice is so dry, but hey, I'm not coughing. Feels empowering. And yes, to those that mentioned, my cough started around the same time. Yes. Up next, Dr. John Matthias's declaration. My husband's declaration is going to be difficult to read. Guys, I might need a bathroom break soon. The water, the time. Dr. John Matthias declares the following. I love him so much. Dr. John Matthias declares the following. I am the husband of Lauren Matthias. I am a clinical and forensic psychologist licensed in both Utah and Nevada. I received an undergraduate degree in philosophy from Princeton University, a master's degree in marriage, family, and child counseling from the University of Southern California, and a doctorate in counseling psychology from the University of Southern California. I am currently a partner with Lauren in Hidden Productions, where we co-host the Hidden True Crime podcast and YouTube channel. I also supervise doctoral students at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and have done so since 2007. I have evaluated over 500 criminals for the risk of recidivism and mental health problems, psychopathology related to criminality. I have been certified by the Utah Department of Corrections and the Utah Network of Juveniles Obtaining Safety to conduct forensic evaluations with both adult and juvenile offenders. I have been approved by the state of Nevada Parole and Probation to perform forensic evaluations and to work with juvenile and adult offenders in therapy groups. I have been certified by the federal courts as an expert in forensic work to perform forensic evaluations. I have received federal and state expert services contracts to perform forensic work and to conduct forensic evaluations. I have also led and conducted hundreds of therapy groups with hundreds of convicted felons since 1996, in addition to working with hundreds of child and adult victims of trauma and abuse. Since April 2025, I have personally...
Are you saying that she might wear a diaper like Lisa Nowak, astronaut lady who drove from Florida to Texas to go her husband's mistress? Because Lisa Nowak is my goddamn hero. She goes, if I'm going to go find you cheating on me and I got to make a long drive, I'm going to go diped. Diped. I'm diping it. Love that lady. I fucking love it. Okay. She goes, I'm getting cheated on. Oh, okay. Okay, he's fucking another astronaut? Okay, I'm in Florida. Where's he at? Texas? All right, let me get diped. Dipes herself up and just drives. That's my hero. That is my hero. Lisa Nowak. Justice for Lisa. All right, I want to watch the kid part.
I observed the ongoing harassment and stalking directed at my wife, Lauren, both as her spouse and as a licensed psychologist. I have witnessed the profound toll this harassment has taken on her mental health. She has suffered from heightened anxiety and depression, hopelessness and despair, and repeated panic attacks. She has internalized many of the cruel and false narratives directed at her, which has eroded her self-esteem. And she has exhibited trauma symptoms, including hypervigilance, excessive anxiety, and intrusive and unwanted thoughts. I have watched her withdraw socially and struggle to concentrate with a significant decline in her work focus and productivity. She has also experienced ongoing insomnia, reduced appetite, and weight loss. Feelings of inadequacy, by the way. I have tried to eat today and I cannot. I have not eaten today, which is why, forgive me, Nancy Joe, it's plastic, I know, but I am sipping a root beer. She's also, so I have watched her withdraw socially and struggle to concentrate with a significant decline in her work focus and productivity. She's also experiencing ongoing insomnia, reduced appetite, and weight loss, feelings of inadequacy, fear, irritability, frequent migraine headaches, and persistent stress-related gastrointestinal problems. On more than one occasion, she has expressed suicidal thoughts, overwhelmed by the relentless nature of the malicious and false attacks, false attacks directed toward her. They are false. The day I will never forget is July 7th, 2025. At approximately 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up to Lauren rocking in our bed in visible distress. She was holding her legs tightly against her chest in the fetal position as she rocked back and forth on the bed. She was experiencing a severe panic attack, and she told me that she did not want to live. That moment was devastating for me as her husband, and deeply alarming as a clinician who understands the seriousness of such statements. Never once in the 10 years that I have known Lauren has she ever expressed or considered such suicidal thoughts. I was devastated and concerned by this extreme change in her behavior. Our 8-year-old son, this is what the media wanted, right? That's why you guys wanted to film the stalking injunction hearing. Our 8-year-old son has been greatly affected by these events. He has developed an unusual sense of responsibility to protect his mother, telling her that she must promise to run to save her life if he tells her to, and to not ask questions. He lives with a constant fear that harm will come to her, and his sense of safety has been diminished. He mirrors his mother's anxiety and distress, and he has attempted to comfort and protect her, taking on responsibilities no young child should bear. His fear of strangers and imagined catastrophes has increased dramatically to the point of often refusing to leave the home. He has withdrawn socially from friends, struggled to fall asleep at his normal bedtime, and significantly reduced his appetite since the stalking began. And it is true, and he is weak. He has dark circles under his eyes because of lack of nutrition. This parental role reversal, empathic trauma, and emotional harm are all symptoms of what happens to children who become secondary victims when a parent is subjected to ongoing stalking and harassment. As a clinical and forensic psychologist, my professional work has included evaluating individuals for the risk of recidivism, which means reoffense, and patterns of—
Yeah, we know what that means. Okay, I'm done with her. I'm done with her. I have to be done with her. 8 years old. 8 years old. My nephew is 8. There should be no, they shouldn't know what's going on. They shouldn't be going and saying, Mommy, promise to run and save yourself if crazy stalker ever. Why does your kid even know? Why does the 8-year-old even know? Why aren't they out playing Pokemon? They only know what you tell them. Don't you think you have a responsibility as an adult? Well, you know what? She's never fucking around, right? If she's out here screwing this guy in Idaho, doing this over here, out to eat with this one here, screwing this one but not kissing him on the lips, not living together, making 9-hour fucking live streams, going to every trial that ever exists in the country, she's not even around her kid. How does her kid even know? Does she leave her friggin' what she calls chubby husband around to hang out with him? Because she's like, I'm worried for his health. I'm worried for his health. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Trash bag, woo. You're a trash bag, woo. Ugh, dude. Mm-mm. Anyone who involves the kids, I'm like, that's just like there's a line we can't cross. You can't. You just can't. It is idiot wind. No, Liz. Christina, the lady she was sending the earn your trust back text to, and admits they're saying that because of panic attack about, her private text being released. Okay. She couldn't walk a day in Turtle Boy. She was seriously skip to response video they made to 9 hours. They made a response video to this. They made a response video to the. Let me look. Let me take a look. Trash bag, woo. You type in hidden true crime on YouTube, the second thing that comes up is hidden true crime drama. We speak out after 9-hour live. Is that the one? This one right here where it says we respond. God, okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay. The we respond one. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're back.
Happy. They seem happy. They seem happy.
I know that a few of you, the hashtag Free John is going around a little bit. You okay? He's here. He's okay.
Yeah, you had to unlock the cage in the garage to let me out. So I'm here. Yeah, I thank you for giving me some breakfast this morning too after letting me out of the cage. Don't worry, you don't have to free me. I'm good.
Yeah, we're here. And we have a lot to talk about. Remember when I said that last live and it went 9 hours? I don't think this one will be 9 hours.
It's going to probably be a few hours though.
It's going to be long. We've got a lot to say.
grab your beverages, grab your popcorn, grab something. Right.
Whatever it is you grab, your tea.
I actually have some coffee this morning.
I've got a bit of everything here laid out. So we've got a lot to talk about. Which I'm sure all of you know. And when I say we, John actually is going to have the most to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I actually, went live for 9 hours, as many of you have pointed out.
Right. So
9 hours and 9 minutes.
So
I did that.
You're going to give me the floor.
I'm going to give you the floor.
You're going to give me the floor today.
Where's the kid you're asking? Not eating.
I want to talk about what happened, but I want to do it more philosophically and more psychologically. We're going to get into things like the psychology of stalking. We're going to get into the nature of this conflict, the nature of why people are, well, the different conversations people are having since you.
Hold on. I'm not trying to be mean. But that Fitbit is performative. And that's all I'm going to say. She fucking forced him to wear that. She goes, I was concerned about your health. Pop this bitch on, please, and make sure it points to camera. Look at that Fitbit. Look at guys. Look at it's barely hanging on. Look at hand meat, and then indent Fitbit, and then arm meat. Look at arm meat, Fitbit struggling for dear life, hand meat. What color is his arm when he takes that off? Okay. That's his life 360.
At least you're live. whether you're lying, whether you're telling the truth, right? Like whether you were stalked, is that just free speech? Or we're going to cover all of that, and we're going to cover that from mainly a psychological perspective, because I am a psychologist.
Ew.
But since
You have your PhD in psychology.
Ew.
Right, not philosophy. Just to clarify, a PhD is by definition a doctor of philosophy.
Don't worry, I covered that in my live.
Okay, so
We're good.
yeah. So
Ew.
correct. I am a licensed psychologist. I am a clinical and forensic psychologist. And so we're going to approach this largely from a psychological perspective.
And before we begin, I do want to say thank you to everyone for your support. We've actually received thousands of emails and messages from people giving us support, and we just want to say thank you too before we begin. Or yeah.
And just so kind, so much kindness, so much love. Thank you very much. We were able to get through this a lot easier because of the support from our community and our gems, and you guys are amazing, and we can't thank you enough. So
All right. Take it away.
So let's dive into this analysis. I'm going to start in a fairly peculiar, unexpected place.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with talking about Brad Pitt, the actor.
That is peculiar.
That is, it is a little peculiar, right? So the reason I want to talk about Brad Pitt is because he's an actor in my generation. He's an actor I've followed very closely over the years. He's an actor I've really appreciated. And I've really kind of watched him mature and develop and grow. And that's been somewhat inspirational to me.
Yeah,
so
you do like him. He talks about Brad Pitt.
So let me just say, so I'm going to do a little bit of my own fangirling here, I guess. But let me say that the reason I got to know Brad Pitt was because in 1992, he was in a movie called A River Runs Through It.
Mm-hmm.
A River Runs Through It is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite books. It's a book by Norman MacLean, who was a professor of English literature at the University of Chicago for many years. He wrote this novella about his childhood growing up in Montana and how fly fishing basically saved his life. It's a brilliant book. It's a brilliant movie. Brad Pitt was in the movie. He actually played the somewhat delinquent brother. It was an interesting role that Brad Pitt would kind of reprise many times in his career, but he was very good. And
yeah, he was.
I didn't know who he was at that time. And so I was interested. I'm like, who is this guy, right? When I watch a movie and there's actors I don't know, I'm always interested to kind of figure out who they are, where they came from. So I found that Brad Pitt actually was born and raised in a small town in Oklahoma. He was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And I also learned that at least some of his early career, he began in 1987. I didn't know any of his earlier movies. He did a few movies, and then he did work for a soap opera. So
guys, I don't know if we can sit through
evolution of his career really begins with soap operas. And, when I learned that, I thought, oh, this is interesting, right? Like, you don't see a lot of soap opera actors go on to become mega stars. I mean, I guess some of them have, but I'm not aware of a lot, right? And so you've got
actually our meat, they kind of do. A lot of soap opera stars have made it to become bigger things in Hollywood. Like a lot, a decent amount. Just saying, dramatic gay arm meat.
This guy in this major movie, it's produced by Robert Redford. Robert Redford, by the way, in 1992, clearly saw talent in this young actor because Robert Redford has produced some extraordinary movies over the years. He's been in extraordinary movies. He knows the industry. He knows talent, and he picked out Brad Pitt. So shortly after that, Brad Pitt in 1995 was in a movie called Seven. And he was one of the detectives, and great job. So now my appreciation of this guy is only increasing. In 1996, he did a movie called 12 Monkeys. Many people probably don't know this movie, but I do, because it has to do with mental health, and it gets into everything I love. It's a post-apocalyptic novel. It's got kind of sci-fi. It's about mental health issues. Is he psychotic? Is he not? There's all kinds of philosophical issues raised in this movie, but I don't think a lot of people saw this movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but you love Brad Pitt too. So you're watching this movie.
But I watched this movie, and now, like, he's extraordinary in this movie. Now my appreciation of this guy is continuing to expand. 1999, he does The Fight Club, which is a very controversial movie, gets a lot of attention. But again, I kind of see this guy's journey towards mastery, right? 2004, he does Troy. I'm skipping a lot of movies he's done, by the way. These are just ones. He does the movie Troy, which is about the Iliad. Homer's The Iliad. I love Homer's The Iliad.
Oh my
God.
God.
One of my favorite books. It's a brilliant book about war. He does this. That's a risk. It's not particularly a stretch for him in this movie, but he's good. In 2008, he does Benjamin Button. He's nominated for Best Actor. He's nominated for Best Actor by the Academy. In 2011, he does Moneyball. Brilliant. He's brilliant in this movie.
I feel like I'm the only, like, okay. Do you guys feel like he didn't watch the 9-hour live, right? It's like a kid who's like supposed to do a book report, and he gets up there and he's like, they're like, okay, talk about Maniac McGee. And she's like, okay, Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events is a good movie because of these reasons. In conclusion, I watched Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events. It's like they're here to respond to the 9-hour fucking stalking live, and he's rattling off Brad Pitt's fucking IMDb. Jimmy, you're the best. Love your channel. I usually catch replays. Thank you, Blessed Mom from Texas. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. What? Dude, what is he doing? Why is he? It's been hold on. It's been 7.5 minutes, and all I've heard is how much this guy gets bricked up over Brad Pitt. Let's see if it gets any friggin' better.
Right. He's also nominated for Best Actor. 2014 Fury. Again, he's exceptional in this role. 2015, he does The Big Short. Every one of these roles, he sort of has a particular type in these movies, but you also, like, for me, I'm also seeing him expanding his repertoire a little bit, taking some risks, like with Troy, growing as an actor, right? So what's fascinating to me is you got this guy from an area, from Oklahoma, that you never think would become a megastar. He's really committed to his craft. He's really growing, right? And then after The Big Short, there's a bombshell in 2016. And this bombshell is that Angelina Jolie accuses him of abuse. Yeah. On a plane specifically, but essentially there's this war between himself and Angelina Jolie.
Two
There's megastars. There's this issue over custody, right? There's all kinds of issues here. There's I believe
it's a bitter divorce.
It's a bitter divorce. I believe there's all kinds of accusations being levied. And before this, by the way, I should point out, like, the paparazzi are all over Brad Pitt wherever he goes.
He's married to Jennifer Aniston.
Before.
Cheating scandal.
Right. There's issues about fidelity, right? Like, anything the tabloid can get their hands on, any salacious story about Brad Pitt, they're publishing that, right? I see this stuff, but I don't really pay much attention to it because I don't really care. I want to go to his movies.
Right.
I'm invested in this guy as an actor and watching him grow and change and master his craft, right?
You're interested in his craft, his art.
Right. So,
well, what was that?
It's interesting because in 2016,
What was that? What was that?
I could be wrong about. So, it's interesting because in 2016, so So it's interesting because in 2016, and I could be wrong about this, but so these allegations are levied by someone who has tremendous power in Hollywood. And I believe that because of this, there's certainly an attempt to tarnish his reputation, to maybe cancel him, right? Like there's this whole debate about should Brad Pitt be doing movies, right? I'm sure people have mixed feelings about this. He was never formally charged with anything. He was never criminally charged. But after 2016, it does appear that a lot of his roles are lesser roles. It appears that he's doing movies that aren't quite they don't quite have the heft and the reach of movies he's done before. So the reason I read that list of movies prior to is because I don't know exactly what was going behind the scenes.
The editing is shady. Hold on.
The reason I read that list of movies prior to is because I don't.
Whoever edited this is my fucking hero. Look at.
So the reason I read that list of movies prior to is because I don't know exactly what was going behind.
Grayson is so shady. Grayson. He's like, and then the bomb hits. The bomb is Django Unchained. Then we see him at his most vulnerable.
The scenes, I don't know if the impact of accusations was affecting his ability to get better films. Like I
oh my
just
God,
don't
look at
know.
her face. Oh my God, look at her face.
Like I just don't know. And so I'm gonna leave us here for a minute.
Oh,
I'm gonna
here?
leave us with the accusations, the trajectory of his career that apparently seems to stall around 2016, right? And I'm going to dive into something else, which is something that's called psychological essentialism. And psychological essentialism, and there's different kinds of psychological essentialism, but fundamentally psychological essentialism is about the idea that things or people have an underlying reality. So there's something called category essentialism, which is that you might take an attribute or something that of a person.
Mama Gwen, love you to pieces. Oh, nice picture. My husbands and I, look at you, good for you, getting your Lauren true crime on, are cracking up watching you. Wait till he starts bringing out his credentials. Oh God, okay, so we got okay, shit. All right. Okay. He's like, what they don't talk about is him and Angelina in Salt. They don't ever talk about Salt. That was the tipping point.
And you're going to generalize from that and make assumptions about who that person is.
Okay.
So in other words, you want to categorize someone. So psychological essentialism is about
editing strikes again.
Trying to find some underlying category of reality about a person or a thing. Typically in psychological essentialism, you might take an attribute or a behavior, even just one, and you'll generalize from that to categorize the person in question. So one of the authors one of the psychologists, his name is Paul Bloom. He teaches at Yale. He does research. He wrote a book called How Pleasure Works, where he has some interesting chapters on psychological essentialism. The reason, by the way, he talks about it in terms of pleasure is because he argues strongly that psychological essentialism underlies a lot of our experience of pleasure, in the sense that there are certain things that essentialism helps us with in terms of developing certain desires or motivations for something. So there's another type of psychological essentialism called life force essentialism, which I don't.
She's like, John, Grayson, cut. John, I'm not fucking you. Okay. Stop bringing this up every time. We're here to talk about me. I'm not fucking you. Put that book away.
I don't want to get into that now. We'll talk about it later. But for now, I want to talk about psychological essentialism. And I'm actually going to read. This was Paul Bloom in his book called How Pleasure Works.
Why We Like What We Like. I like the subtitle. So I'm going to throw that out there.
He talks about, there's a subject in one of his studies. It's a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about it. He gives an example of psychological essentialism. And here's what he said. So they interviewed this 4-year-old. And he was describing what he perceived to be a violent playmate.
John.
So here's what he says. The 4-year-old. Quote, Gabriel didn't just hurt me. He hurt other kids too. He's a herder. Right, Mom? He's a herder. The child, here's Bloom, the child is presumably stressing that this sort of behavior reflects a deeper aspect of Gabriel's nature. So what Bloom is saying that's of interest here is that if a child is on the playground, let's say we don't know the context, right? Let's say that child is having a really bad day. Let's say his father yelled at him that morning. Let's say his father maybe even pushed him, right? This kid, Gabriel, comes to school and he acts out. He hits another child.
Okay.
Maybe he pushes another child. And this 4-year-old sees it. And his conclusion is that Gabriel is essentially a herder. He's a bad kid and you need to stay away from him. Without knowing anything about Gabriel, without knowing Gabriel's story, right? So you're going from this one particular behavior and you're generalizing. And the important point here is that
oh my God, what is the important point,
2,
John?
And 3 and 4, this is what they do. They start labeling and categorizing behaviors.
Okay. And putting them into categories.
Putting them in categories, trying to oversimplify it, right? So you're essentially seeing, like this 4-year-old, you're seeing one particular behavior, which is this kid Gabriel hitting another kid apparently. Mm-hmm. We don't know why, right? We don't know the context. We don't know anything about his home life. And then a 4-year-old is drawing the conclusion that that's a bad kid.
In general terms. Right? It's oversimplifying.
Oversimplified. So what's important here is not only does this happen at a young age, but it solidifies over the course of our lifespan. So in other words, adults are still looking to categorize people. The same way they're looking for a specific instance or behavior to say, that's a herder. So here's an example. Let's say someone writes some private text messages.
Let's say, so random.
That aren't meant with the expectation of privacy, right? And let's say those messages are part of a group where the culture of that group is to roast other people. That culture of that group is to make fun of other people and to just blow off steam, to vent, right? And let's say that one of those private messages, just one, or maybe a few, they're released publicly. Not to mention the ethical and moral issues about betraying someone's privacy and their friendship and trust. That's a different issue. That's more of a ethical issue, right? But so let's just say that somebody releases a private message or series of private messages and they get out to certain people. So an example of psychological essentialism is you take one of those messages out of context.
Okay.
Out of context.
Okay.
Meant to be private. You take one of those messages and then you develop a sticky label that you apply to the person that wrote that private or those private messages, right? So let's say that some of those messages were snarky, or let's say that some of those messages were edgy. Let's say they were a little biting. Maybe they were sarcastic, right? But they were in the context of a group where that wasn't to be shared. Psychological essentialism suggests that certain people will take those messages that weren't meant to be shared and they will develop categories. They will label people bad. They will label people as being immoral because of that type of behavior without looking at the context, without considering, right?
Sorry, John.
Watch her to is that
Oh my
invariant.
God.
This research is, the finding is that
Oh.
human beings, because of psych, we have this core self, this true self.
Look at her, dude. She's already
Human beings also believe virtuous, essential, that saying others is more because of this, they believe human beings across all cultures.
Look at that camera. She's looking at the camera. She's doing like a The Office type look. Like, am I really here? Look at.
Because of this, they believe human beings across all cultures believe that there's an intrinsic goodness.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Hot take. I'm gonna give you guys a fucking hot take. I understand where she's coming from now, where she feels like she has to do a 9-hour live and flip her life out of control, because if this is who she's married to, anything else in my life would seem interesting other than this. I'd go fuck someone in Idaho. That's who she's.
To them. I'm going to read.
Oh God, please don't. Wait, hold on.
Here.
Hold on.
I'm going to read.
Look at that shirt in the middle, hanging on for dear life. And look at her. She's staring at his breastises because he has some supple Jennifer Aniston's going on.
Read from who summarizes and is a psychologist at the University.
No,
the
I don't
need
need
cycle by side with the idea of more human being. This is the reason involved some of the people. I'm trying to see
You guys wanted me to watch this? Or what?
Exercise from groups, you ruin their reputation, right? Part of that was going on with Brad Pitt. And you might say, okay, so who cares? Why? Let's say this is a moral crusade that people are trying to paint Brad Pitt as evil, so he never works again in Hollywood. They're trying to get him canceled, right? From the start, that every bit of this is about a moral referendum on that person have the moral authority on
Helped.
that you help
I
organize.
participated in helping organize. My dear friend actually.
Does
was most of
that
it.
person have the moral authority?
Jump a half hour.
Called annoying. You can call me annoying too. You do all the time. So
You can be really annoying.
that's what grown-ups do. That's what you can call me. Like, that's what mature adults do. They can handle being called annoying. You can call me annoying too. You do all the time. So
You can be really annoying.
that's what grown-ups do.
So the first time we watched this, I took note of how they said, or how she said, that she was in East Idaho with some dude. Didn't even kiss him. And I'm like, it's interesting she said that. That's sluttery 101, right? That's trampery. That's that whole life that I live. She said it again today, and now along with the I'm concerned about his health. We jump in here. She's looking at him like she'd rather be anywhere else in the world. And now he's on a video about her truth and her journey about her getting to the truth and the truth journey. He goes, "You call me annoying all the time." And this is her face.
That's what mature people do. They can handle being labeled something.
Oh, ooh. Shots fucking fired. Let's play it again.
That's what mature people do. They can handle being labeled something.
This portion has been sponsored by Jury Tamps. Jury Tamps, fit for any key cycle. This portion has been sponsored by Jury Tamps. Jury Tamps, fit for any key cycle.
So we're covering a lot of terrain here. Fundamental attribution error.
Look at her face.
Is proof that you're not the one who changed. The relationship changed. You're the same person. That doesn't mean you're without flaws.
Sure, John.
Doesn't mean that you're imperfect.
Whatever you say, John.
But
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
So,
all right,
with you, that happy, whatever perspective, and maybe not. This is just in fight.
I've cried about a cat fight.
You were faking the whole thing, and you were crying about a cat fight.
Or I'm dramatic, and
we'll get to that in a little bit. There's a couple of psychologists, Alan Fisk and Tage Rye. They wrote a book called Virtuous Violence.
I gotta watch that part again.
And that I did a 9-hour live crying about a cat fight.
You were faking the whole thing, and you were crying about a cat fight.
Or I'm dramatic, and
we'll get to that in a little bit. And Tage Rye, more right, Brenda, and Ray justify or excuse their violence because there's a lot of evidence suggesting. I'm going to read a lot. Anybody in this
Oh
group
my God, we just jumped
who
an
has
hour.
published private information.
Look at her. I would also. Oh, we have a flow chart. Oh, we have a flow chart. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good, sweet, sweet, sweet baby Jesus. The whole thing sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher, and then he does the longest winded thought experiment with weird made up details. I'm not surprised. Good Lord. Oh, no. Same flow chart, I think. Someone said to go to 247. Okay, what happens at 247? This is like, I don't know how much, like, I don't. Let's just do it.
Whether by going through a thought experiment, you can ask questions about whether this is free speech, whether it's not, right? I'm presenting a hypothetical, but I think you could see this easily as being real. So
Okay.
in my thought experiment, there's a woman, Sylvia, and Sylvia has a daughter named Becky.
Okay.
And Becky's best friend is someone in school. They're adolescents.
Okay.
They're both 16 years old. Becky's best friend is Victoria.
Okay. Becky and Victoria.
Yeah. And Victoria happens to be the captain of the volleyball team. She's very well liked. She's considered to be one of the more attractive girls in her class,
Okay.
which is, I think, sophomore, junior years in high school. But Becky and Victoria have a falling out. And Becky's very angry at Victoria because Becky wanted Victoria to help her join the in crowd, and Victoria was kind of on the fence. She didn't really know how to do it, but she was happy to help her. But Becky thought it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Becky felt like that she was being shunned by Victoria in certain areas, and that Victoria could have helped her more to become more popular.
Okay.
So Becky goes home.
Huh? What? 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 She's getting pissed, and honestly, so am I. You better get somewhere with this fucking arm meat.
To her mother, Sylvia, and Becky says, "Mom, I'm really hurt. I just got shunned. I just got rejected by my best friend, Victoria, and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to deal with her anymore, and I'm done with it." And Sylvia says, "You know what? I love true crime. There's this raging debate online now about a stalking situation, and everyone says it's free speech, and I agree it's free speech. And you know what you should do, Becky? You should open a TikTok account, and you should target Victoria. And what you should do with your account is you should try to harm her and ruin her life as much as you can, because that's perfectly acceptable under free speech. And what I recommend you start with is that you start with a post that you want to come back to, by the way. You want to repeatedly come back to this post, but you start with a post about how Victoria engaged in non-consensual contact with several of her younger siblings. And Becky says, "Oh, that's great. That sounds great. I hate Victoria. I want to start this TikTok. I want to really hurt her." So she posts the first TikTok in a video of Victoria engaging in non-consensual relations with her younger siblings. Goes viral. Victoria is really hurt. People believe it. People start shunning Victoria. People start avoiding her. None of it's true, by the way. What? But Victoria becomes a bit of a laughingstock. People are talking endlessly behind her back about the supposed non-consensual contact that Victoria had with her younger siblings. Victoria is so upset by this, and she's receiving so much mockery at school that she has to, within a year, she has to leave the volleyball team, and she leaves school to be homeschooled by her mother. Becky continues because Sylvia, her mother, says, "You know what? You should post as much as you can. Post every day. Go back to the post about non-consensual contact, about Victoria being an abuser. Go back to that regularly, but post other stuff. But now post her dropping out of school to be homeschooled and how only losers do that. now posts that she wasn't strong enough to stay in school, that she wasn't strong enough to stay on the volleyball team. I want you to just mock her because free speech. They graduate from high school. Victoria does it obviously not in the actual school. She does it from home. And when she graduates, Becky posts that homeschool doesn't really count, that even though she passed all the accreditation exams and did what she needed to do, that Victoria's a loser because she had to be homeschooled and she couldn't stand the fact that she couldn't deal with the truth that she was in fact an abuser. But of course, Becky's posting all kinds of other things, like she says, I'm going to burn your flipping kingdom to the ground. She's saying she's going to expose her, that because she was her best friend, she has all these private text messages and emails.
Best friend, I thought it was a stalker.
To harm her.
I thought it was a stalker, not a best friend. Now it's a best friend.
She continues posting every day. Years pass. Still posting. Victoria gets married. She sees that Becky sees that Victoria's posted photos of her marriage. So she mocks her marriage. She mocks her husband. She talks about how ugly he is, what a loser he is, how he has no future, what a loser she is. She continues to say that whatever Victoria has in her life, she's going to take it away and she's going to burn her kingdom to the ground. Victoria finally has kids. When her first child is born, Becky posts that she believes Victoria is now going to abuse her child. She posts that her children are losers. She posts that CPS should become involved.
I can't
jump in now. She can say what Becky keeps posting.
Oh my God.
She saw you. This because of what? I've been supported by her husband for most of her. Wrong. I could say whatever I want. Here's what Mullen.
Another book.
They have a chapter.
Talkers and victims. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
And they have a chapter 11. It's on.
Look.
Victimization stances, the man, judges, you type, be a male, serious one.
She's so over it.
Attached.
She's like, when
stalking
is my next flight to Idaho so I can hop on a real man? I don't even care about what's going. Like,
be vulnerable. So, never harassment. Respondents' opposition
good Lord.
The statutory minimum personal vendetta. You purge them. You eliminate them. Right? And that's the same thing we saw in Dayville, by the way. Vilifying you.
Another book.
Dehumanizing you. You created fear.
Okay. This is good morning. Defense Diaries. Did Vicky murder who knows? I don't know. There was something about Victoria Beckham and Brad Pitt and a non-consensual touching of siblings, and they were in high school and they made fun of her fat boyfriend because he had a Fitbit that didn't fit a bit, and she got homeschooled, and then we list Brad Pitt's fucking accomplishments. I have to detach because I just fucking can't anymore with them, with the Johns of it all, and the Lauries of it all, and the Graysons of it all, and the Becky, and the Vicky, and the this, and the Stalker, and there's 3 different Laurens, and there's 3 different people, and then there's a book, and then there's a TikTok, and then there's this and that, and a trial, and I'm like a victim, and here's the victim's son, and victims, and oh, it feels like the safest thing to do. Oh my God. That was horrible. Zach says the first rule of Lauren from True Crime is we don't talk about Lauren from True Crime. Thank you, Zach. Tracy Cooley says you look traumatized. I feel traumatized, Trace. Trace, I feel it. I feel like I went through some non-consensual sibling whatevers. That's what I feel like I just fucking went through. That was rough. God. Next, I wanted to... I wanted to go over, because I got a membership to Peter. He was in one of his members only was going over, and it was so interesting. What do you guys think the percentage is of this channel of males and females that are subscribed, that watch it? Which, speaking of, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe or like. But what do you think the percentage is? And then I'm going to look it up because I don't know it. Ooh. Put in a guess. What percentage male, what percentage female? All right. 90-10. I see 90-10, 80-20. I'm male, but I'm gay. Oh, well, then that changes it. That means you're actually female. That means YouTube actually registers you as female. 60-40, 80% female, 85-70. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you right now. Analytics, audience. .4% males. .4. Ain't got no dudes up in here. No dudes. What percentage thinks your hair is looking more? We need to Beyonce My Name with Allie and Bob. That would be so much fun to have both of them up. Or no, because you know what? With Allie and Bob, okay, with Allie and Bob, we could do like a newlywed game type of thing. Like a matched newlywed game. What percentage thinks your hair is looking more like Peter's? Peter, listen. It's not. Peter's hair is long. And he was insecure about his grays. I was watching on a members only live stream since I've got my membership. It's all I've been doing. You're in? Okay, done. All right. Let me, okay, done. Done. That would be so much fun. But you guys can't be in the same room. And you can't cheat. Emily, your audience is 17% male because they all like you, okay? I know what your DMs look like on X. Oh. 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 It's true. Chuck full O Wang. Am I wrong? Thank you, Denise. I know. And like, listen, I've been trying. It just seems like, I don't know. Maybe I got to go get intrauterine whatever. But they're just not, it's not taking. They're not taking. We keep trying. Trust me, we're trying. Yeah, okay, that's it. Clever. Any other questions or things that you guys want to discuss, bring up? 84% girls, 12% dudes, 5% wombats, and 3% mathematicians. Thank you so much, Zachary. Thank you, Thackeray B. Oh, and I know if you didn't see, I saw it on Twitter. Okay. Can we just entertain this for a second? Can you fucking imagine if Mark Betterow was in a chat room, and it's not a chat, okay? Because you know what? I decided this yesterday. It's not a chat, because chat is, thank you, that's what we're going to talk about. Chat is a verb, and I'm not taking a verb and making it a noun. It's a verb. So this is a chat room. This is a chat room. This is the chat room. Can you imagine Mark Betterow in a chat room making fun of, first of all, anyone, but secondly, a member of the Free Karen Reed Free Turtle Boy community, and making fun of their weight? We would be like, it would be the top, we'd be like, what? No, he would never. He would never. So, yeah. Like, right. Right. And then validating it with 200 big ones. I told you. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Okay? I know I hate to show you how the sausage is made and ruin everything for you, but some people just suck. And I could walk around here and not say anything, right? I could just be quiet, but
that's not my job. That's not my job. That's not my job. So
I just wanted to play that. Weird, right? I told you. Yes, I did, Kristen Marcuson. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, ma'am. I did it in a members only, and then I made that shit public a few days ago because I was like, you know what? I don't give a flying fuck anymore. Sorry. So I just made it public. My October members, I made it public. And I spilled. I spilled. Like, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. Also, did you guys enjoy going over the No Mercy Monday? Because if you did, I want to send you guys somewhere. Hold, please. Oh, never mind. I can't. Boo. I'll send you guys to the baker after this. Yeah, I just thought that was spill the XT, that for those of us who don't have it. Okay. Does Jimmy have Venmo or Cash App, y'all? Oh, yes. It's in the description of the video. Just go to the description. There's the Venmo, Cash App if you want to donate. For those that donate today through tomorrow, so we're gonna pull it at the end of tomorrow. Those that donate today through tomorrow on those, you're gonna be entered to win one of. I have a couple different things that I was gonna give away because I don't like keeping stuff around. One of those things is the Siggy Higgy hand. So if you would like to, any amount, there's no whatever. The Siggy Higgy, I know a lot of people wanted them. There's about 3 of them. So let me, so we can do that. Let me see if I'll show you guys what I meant here. Okay. So this is what I guess she was saying, and they like put up, I don't eat bagels. That's how one of us is thin. And then she sent him money. Then she said, all natural. I exercise, no Ozempic, though maybe someone should try it. Ick, I thought to myself. I just thought that was icky. She was talking about Jess Machado because Jess Machado decided to write, or not write, but I guess discuss her in one of her things. I don't know. Either way, not cool, kind of gross, weird, unprofessional. I don't know. I don't know. But I told you. I told you. I tried telling you. I tried telling you. Listen if you want, don't, or call me a mean girl in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot with a small microphone. I don't care. Either way. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for coming to class today. We will be having class tomorrow. Class tomorrow morning, and we will be pulling the winner at the end, and then Friday we do not have class. I have a funeral to go to, so we will not be having class on Friday. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. God bless. Have a good one. Be well, and take care of each other.
Who's this diva? Who's this diva? Because I know there's some new ones coming around these parts. This is the first time. This is the first time they're learning about this. Who's this diva? Oh, because the whole crowd's doing it. Oh, because now everyone wants to do it so you can jump on the bandwagon. I know you. I know you, and you're not going to like anything I have to say. And I'm telling you right now, I'm on to you. I say one wrong thing and you're going to drop me like a bad habit. You're going to drop me like a hot fucking potato. There I go. I came and I went to stay away from people like you, and you need to stay away from me. We don't give a fuck about you. Why don't you kiki away from me? Escort Jimmy to table 12 full of the Australians, a table that deserves to be harassed. Because the people around here know. They know, and they just get it.